gone through Boston, and then when I tried to find Saudi women within the Hall of Fame, I didn't really find anyone. So I've decided to be that person, to inspire and to motivate and to walk the talk whenever facing something hard or going through, hardship. Just thinking about that this too shall pass.
Welcome to the Safe Space Running Podcast, where we're here to encourage, enable, and empower. I have my friend Ashwaq here on the call today. Ashwaq, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain. I'm a week removed from the birthday, so I'm getting up there in age. I hit good old 39, one more year before dirty 40. So my body's feeling
Nice. The
it.
best years, by the way. Once you hit 40, you'll have so much fun.
I'm excited for it. Like I said, every year has been a blessing to say the least. And as I go into that, let me go before we dig deeper in the call. What do you have planned for this year? What kind of training and what kind of runs do you have on the schedule?
So this year I'm due to do, inshallah, Cape Town race. As we all know, has been announced that if Cape Town qualify this year, that anyone who ran 2026 will be eligible for an eighth star. So that is my plan. Now, did I started training? No, but I should start training very soon. Now I'm just doing very light runs due to Ramadan. I'm just taking it easy,
Mm.
and I should get into a strict training plan very soon.
Good, good. I'm so excited for you, which kind of goes into, the part of the conversation. But before I go into that, I just want to point out that, Ashwaq has done amazing things. She's as my words keep wording, as always a funny thing. She is the first Saudi woman to accomplish all seven world majors, and which is a big deal. There's a total of seven, and she did. I think her seventh, or technically the sixth star, was in Chicago last year, and we met in Sydney. So, and there's other
Yes.
things beyond those accolades of doing the majors and such, but that's a pretty big deal. Can you describe for me how that was? What was that experience like for you?
To be honest, it was such a great experience because from day one, I did not really know what am I getting myself into, because my first major was Boston, and it was very funny because I won the lottery of one of the running groups or community here in Saudi Arabia. Shout out to Adidas. And it was so Boston was my first marathon, and I did not know how Boston is big, or I did not understand. And then I gone through Boston, and then suddenly I found myself doing one of the majors.
Mm.
And then when I tried to find Saudi women within the Hall of Fame, I didn't really find anyone. So I've decided to be that person, to inspire and to motivate and to walk the talk for other women who can follow, inshallah, very soon.
And I think you definitely walk the walk, because as no, those who are tuning in or watching, we're highlighting Women's History Month this month, or March is Women's History Month. But instead of us going back and has its place. Don't get me wrong, we always honor those who step before us. But I wanted to take this season to really highlight people who are making impact now in our day and age. And as you mentioned, you looked at the list and didn't see any Saudi women there, and you decided to be that person. What is your impact, in the sense, like what are your expectations? Because that's still a huge thing to be representative of that. What was the purpose for that, and what do you see as that potential impact of such an accomplishment?
I think the potential impact would be in two separate ways. First of all, to show that women can do things, and that if you set your mind into something, that you can do it, whether it's in running or uh, in life, work, family, whatever you want to do. And also, secondly, it shows that we have a place within this community as well. And to be honest, I think one of the biggest also impact, sometimes the sports community comes together. So the first race was Boston, and I got my entry ticket through Adidas, and Tokyo. I was desperate to get into Tokyo. I could not manage to when to do lottery or to actually uh, go through. charity. But then ASICS came through, and also they offered me the bib. So how everyone helped if on or for me to achieve that goal, that's also something that I really appreciate. So having the community work together and having the support of everyone, that's the impact. So you have people who are supporting you, and then you're also walking the talk and showing that women can have a place within this community, and Saudi women have a place within this community.
And you definitely deserve to be in this space. And of course, all women deserve to be in this space. And I love that, everyone has a different opportunity to tackle the races differently and things of that nature. And can you talk about, as a woman, what goes into the preparation of the race? For you, like what are the habits that get you primed and ready to go for the marathon?
I mean, of course, taking into consideration that we do carb loading, we do tapering correct, not always for me. We do carb loading correct. But on the race day, having my fit checked and having my makeup on really boost my confidence and really boost my morale and makes me, happier and more confident. So although I know that by the end of that race, everything almost will disappear, but just starting that race with my makeup on just makes me feel good. And it's part of my preparation for every single race. I do my hair, I do my makeup, I wear my gear, which I'm always happy about and happy with, and I feel comfortable with. So that always helps me to start the race in a very positive note.
I like that. And you talking to somebody who dresses up. So, I mean, I totally understand the importance.
Exactly. It's just like, just a very small note, it's really dressing up. Sometimes it might be funny for some people or not necessarily for others, but it really boosts one's confidence, taking on a challenge that actually they are concerned about and they are, maybe worried about. So maybe sometimes when you dress up, it really gives you that, boost that allows you to start that challenge. That's it. You know what I mean?
I do. I do. I think people should be able to go in with that confidence, and if and looks play a huge role in that. There should be no reason for us to not go in and make ourselves look ready and look for the part and be excited. Because again, it's already tough enough. We spend so much time grueling through the season already trying to train for it. There should be no shame or no shade thrown to those who wants to have the fit nice and matching, the right shoes, the right makeup, all the aesthetics there. I think they earned it.
100%. And you know what? We all also do it for the pictures. So we need the pictures to look good as well. Facts.
That's big facts. We gotta look right. We gotta look right for it. That's the most important thing. And that kind of goes into my next question
Yes.
for you is that we kind of hinted at, preparation for the marathon and things of that nature. And sometimes things come up that makes things difficult for training. It's different circumstances or whatnot too. What do you think is a good way, or how would you motivate those who are going through difficult times to get through those trainings? Because again, you're clearly an expert at this. Again, knocking out the 7 majors plus other majors and marathons that you got working through now with Cape Town coming up. I'm sure you've gone through different things and you still have shown that diligence to keep training and pursue that. So how would you encourage others to get through that?
So to begin with, I think everyone should kind of limit, how would I say this? Let me just give it a little bit of
Sure.
thought. So focusing on what's important to you. That's the first thing. This is one. And two, reminding yourself why are you doing what you're doing. That's two. And by having the right people around you who pushes you, who are aligned on your goal, who are aligned on your vision, that's also very important. So I think this triangle is very important. And of course, that goes with inner positivity and inner understanding that this too shall pass. I always like to think whenever I'm facing something hard or going through, hardship, just thinking about that this too shall pass. And I need now to think about weeks ahead. Where do I want to be when this hardship or this heavy feelings that I'm feeling, gone, right? So I think about it this way. So I just think, where do I want to be when this thing finishes or ends, or this heavy feeling that I have is kind of past? And then I want to be ahead. I want to be as planned, as much as I can, of course. You have good days, you have bad days, you just go through them, and you take every single day at a time. That's what I would say.
I love that. Foresight is the word that came to mind as you were speaking about that. It's just uh, those who've trained for marathons, half marathons, or their first 5K. A lot of times we know ahead of time what we should, but if we're training right. But even then, we know way ahead of time when that race is going to be. Sometimes they're months out, sometimes a year out. But I think having that foresight
Yes.
of knowing what the end goal is, as you mentioned, and this too shall pass is such a powerful phrase on that we have to remind ourselves of, especially when we have to spend 16 to 18 weeks of training for a marathon. That foresight of there's an end goal. The bad times, the hard training blocks, the different circumstances that come across our lives, those will pass. But having people around us to keep us locked in, and the first thing you said was, just for something that's meant for us that we enjoy, that purpose for us. That's very poignant. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. It's always good to remind yourself of things that really pushes you and motivates you. That's how I think about it. I mean, that's actually what got me through training for the seven majors in I think a very short time, 3 years. It's a very very short time. That because I was tired a lot of times. I was bored. I was just not in the right mood. But that's what kept me going. I just wanted to help more women. Just wanted to be that no, be that north star, be that inspiration for others, and that what kept me going, really.
That's amazing. And again, I know that the seven majors is one thing that, that one of your accomplishments, but you've done partnership with ASICS, you help out with a run club, you do different things of that nature. So your purpose has always been about empowering women, Saudi women, and those whoever comes across you or comes to know you. Again, when we spoke in Sydney, I was already inspired by your story, but then there's a demeanor and a candor and a genuine love that you have for the sport and the athletics and for those around you. So that speaks a lot of your passion and care for those around and the impact that you're looking to seek to make. You're paving a way for others to follow suit, and that takes a lot. That's not always easy.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? Because I'm also part of a running club called
Mm,
We Run here in Riyadh in
mm.
Saudi Arabia. And in this running club, we have mixed of runners. We have men, we have women, and we train for like different distances and different, goals. But it's really that community when they come together to support you and to help you. That's really the essence of this sport. Everyone say that running is an individual sport. Yes, it is. You are the one who's running. You are the one who's getting the medal at the end of the race. But it takes a village with all the support of the running group and the family and the friends who keep you focused and who keeps you motivated. And it's give and take relationship that I have with this community, because I might be coaching and I might be giving advices, but at the same time the team showing up for me every single time I need them. That's also something you cannot buy with money. I don't know how to explain this feeling.
That's powerful because it shows the power of community. And I always am a firm believer of, good things always return. Whatever you put out into the world, whether it be good or bad, it always will be returned back to you. And I love that, I know you put so much into your community. You put so much into your mission and your passions. I'm glad to hear that your community shows up for you and gives you the same in return, because you again seeing those Saudi women there on that list and you deciding to do it for not just you but for others to follow suit speaks volumes. A lot of times our choices matter, what we spend our time with matters, how we spend our energy matters. But there's always been, again, from when the
Yeah.
first time we met to now, you've always been having this heart of servitude, and that speaks volumes. So I personally am always honored to speak with you and talk with you. But again, I have to thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
all of that work that you do and continue to do to create impact and change for everyone. You've always talked about both men and women in the times that we've talked as well. So it's not just, you always have that space for women, but you've never excluded men out in that case too. And I appreciate you including us and informing us of those different
Yeah.
roadblocks.
You know what? It has been, it has been very challenging at some times. And, if it was about me, I think I would have not completed the 7 stars. I would have maybe quit. But then I felt so much responsibility, so much, that I owe it to myself, I owe it to other people to kind of get through this. Because at some point, I was in between jobs. I was, money was kind of, I need to really think about my spending and all of those kind of things. But, everything worked well and everything worked fine. But, I felt that sense of responsibility. It's bigger than me, as you said. And that where when I've kind of, you know, it becomes really, really bigger than me. And I need to do this. There's no way out. Or you know what I mean?
Completely understand. And again, that's a sacrifice. I think people sometimes forget that, when you take on those acts of servitude to create, change and impact, that there's something that the individual has to give up to make that happen. And sometimes that gets lost in the
Yeah.
sauce of the glitz and the glamour that, again, you've put in a lot of time. 7 majors. And again, this is not just, you haven't just done 7 majors. You've done other marathons as part of that. You help with the run club and you help with coaching and such. You've done so much beyond just that notoriety. And that's what makes you perfect for that representation. And you were literally made to be that representation. And that's what I've always admired about
Thank you
that.
so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. And now, my last question for you, which would be perfect for you,
Tell me.
is you have a new runner or walker who comes into, let's say they come to your run club and they're not sure what to make of it. Who knows? But what would be one piece of advice you would give them as they start this journey?
Okay. Piece of advice to listen to their bodies, not to take things very quickly, to take things gradually in terms of them starting running. I would always advise them to start walk and run, intervals, kind of walk, run, and then they see and then they see how their body feels, how do they feel, and then if they can push further. I always advise runners to take it step by step, which means that let's train for the 5K first, perfect the 5K, and then let's move on to the 10, 21, and then a marathon. I always think that the marathon distance is a graduation for any runner. It's just a graduation, ceremony. I know that there is ultra, and that's also something maybe I would do on, in the future. But the 42K distance really feels like, this is the right time. I've done the work, and I'm kind of doing this race to kind of graduate.
I love that. I love that. A lot of people like to jump head first, and some can. I don't recommend it. I'm always more cautious than anything else, but I think those are really solid tips and suggestions for to follow through. Well, again, I always appreciate when we have conversations. I so appreciate your time, and I can't thank you enough for your impact. I can't thank you enough for your contributions into this space. And I'm excited to see as time goes on that list of Saudi women, whom that list continues to grow, with you leading the way to that. So again,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I always appreciate you. And if we don't get this, I'm sure we'll speak before then, but you're going to knock out Cape Town. You're going to get it done.
Inshallah, yes, inshallah. I think I hope that I do. I just would like to say thank you so much for being so open, for being, generous with your advice. Because I've called you once or twice, maybe to get some insights from you, and you were so open to share your knowledge, and that's something I really, really appreciate. I mean, from day one in Sydney, I think we were at the one of the tours where we met. You guys have been very open, and I've enjoyed. And you know what? That's the beauty of the running too, because it connects people. I mean, running the world majors have introduced me to a lot of good people around the world who are now I called my friends. And I'm proud of them. I know that they're also proud of me. So thank you so much.
It's truly my pleasure.